All right. Hi, my name is Brad Britt. I'm the program manager for the AFW2 Transition Program, Empowerment and Transition. Today, we get to talk about a great topic that I think is, on a lot of people's mind right now with everything that's going on, remaining resilient in transition. We have a lot of warriors going through transition, a lot of caregivers along and families along for that journey. So I think right now, it's a good time to focus on that conversation. We're very fortunate today to have two people with us to discuss that.
All right.
So today from our Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resilience team, we have Candace and Armando. They can be reached if anybody has any questions after this. You want to reach out to them. You hear some things that we discussed that maybe are giving you a challenging time, and you like someone to talk to you about it or discuss it with their team. They can be found at the website below. And also, I would encourage you to go to and utilize their closed Facebook group. They're very active in that group. They do a lot of great things. They're definitely value added to the program as a whole. And I feel as an Empowerment and Transition Program Manager that this is something that we need to get out to our warriors who are transitioning, to our families that are transitioning, and understand that there are people here who have your back, who are ready to talk to you about things that might be on your mind, challenging you at this time, and really to help you build the tools and stay resilient. So with that, I'd like to introduce Armando and Candace. A little bit about both of them. They're outstanding. And like I said, we're very fortunate to have them. So if you guys wouldn't mind just talking a little bit about your program, what you do here at AFW2, and then we can kind of dive into how I think it fits into the transition program.
Well, thank you, Brad, so much for that introduction. And as Brad said, Candace and I, we have been with the program for quite some time. Candace a whole lot longer than I have. I'm a retired Army guy, so don't take that against me. But a lot of the things that Brad wants to talk about, I went through myself, and so did Candace, because she's a retiree too. So know that we do have some experience and some knowledge about these stressors that happen when you're transitioning out. And then once you transition, you're out, but now you have to assimilate into a whole new culture. And that process is called transformation. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But essentially, the Wellness and Resiliency program is designed not only to look out for your welfare, but also to take care of our staff members. So there's a lot that our staff members go through and go to that we have to monitor their health as well. Candace and I pretty much are sewn in the fabric of every program. So we may not be the subject matter experts about the mentor program. We can talk intelligently about it. So pretty much, we also have a watch list that we monitor a lot of our severe ill and injured warriors, and we take care of them constantly on the phone, email, Zooming, and everything else, trying to maintain that positive social connectedness. Candace, I'll hand it over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Candace Escobedo. I also work with Armando with the in the war team. And we are really excited to be here today and share with you some of the resiliency things that we do. I was a non-medical care manager for the first probably 8 years of my time in Air Force Wounded Warrior. So I'm very well versed in all the things that warriors struggle with and go through when they transition. And so now that we're part of the war team, we've incorporated all these wonderful resiliency programs like journaling and meditations and self-help programs and resources and things like that that will help you. And then again, the social media has just really blown up with everything that's gone on since we've been quarantined. And we're doing a lot of great stuff out there and finding a whole new way to interact with folks that we never really did before. So really interesting stuff that we have going on, and we really look forward to having all of you to be a part of it. Thanks for letting us be here.
Thank you. And then you talked a little bit about the big social media presence and a very active social media presence. Can you just touch on maybe a little bit about what you do on that website?
So a lot of the things that we
it's a great resource, especially now,
do is
like access really quickly.
There was a breakup.
A lot of what we do right now, a lot of the things that we do right now is we stay abreast of the current situations and situational awareness. Like every day we have a theme, and we reach out to you. Like today's Wednesday would be reflection Wednesday, where you would add in and reflect back on a memory and just kind of write some things in. But we're also, it's also PTSD Awareness Month. So there's a lot of information that we're putting out there. And the beauty about that is a lot of our warriors have so much knowledge that they're posting information out there too. And it starts this huge thread about, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that existed. And so this information starts turning into a huge dissemination process. And then we have our social platforms that we do. And oh, by the way, Thursday at 4 p.m., 1600 Central Time is a Father's Day special for men and journaling. And it's going to be huge. So these are some of the small things that we do, but I'm going to allow Candace to elaborate on some of the bigger things that we do.
So with the social media, of course, we can connect so much quicker with folks, and we check the social media, the Facebook group, we check it all the time. We get the pings on our phone if someone sent a message or if someone's made a post. And so we're able to check in more often with warriors, especially the folks that are having issues or going through a crisis. It's definitely something that we monitor all the time. We also do a lot of cool things with journaling. So I love to journal. Armando loves to journal. I'm always looking for new creative ways, innovative ways. I love doing art journaling. So we'll find cool things that we can post out there, or free things that we can download and then attach up to Facebook, because apparently now you can not just put pictures up there, but you can also attach documents. So we'll download free things, or we'll put things out there that warriors will say, "Ooh, where'd you get that? Can I get that?" And then we can email it to them because it's something that we have in our files. And then just engaging with them and throwing out topics to get people talking and to get people connected and sharing things, whether it's art or journaling or meditation or anything that helps them. We have lots of things that folks like to share. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, that's great. It's nice to be able to have that, platform to deliver that information and make sure it's out there. For me, what I see, and I also went through the transition process, and it's challenging, and it feels overwhelming, and it can feel, it can be kind of a lonely place, because you're like, what do I do now? And you're kind of going into an unknown. So, the feedback I get is it's something that you expected to do for a good part of your life. For a lot of our warriors, that got cut short. So now they have to go on and find that new career. So they're dealing with the stresses of trying to find a new career, transition out of the military, and then also deal with a lot of the family struggles and things that are going on there, and also find their identity as they become a civilian, which I think is a big challenge for a lot of people, just speaking to our population, what they go through. So, I mean, as far as transition and those kind of issues that I see happening, do you have, I have your slide here about some good ways to stay, to handle rejection and resiliency, because going out of the military, you might get rejected from a job.
Yep.
But there's some other things that might come to mind that would be some good practices to use to try to, focus on tracking your goals and attaining them. I know you mentioned journaling. I'm not a journaler. Like I'm not. I try it. I can't read my own handwriting. I do try to do something to try to keep what I'm going on. But is there other, some things that you would suggest, particularly for that group that's transitioning out, looking for positions in employment?
So one thing I would say, big thing, if you're not a journaler, I still call anything that you're writing down and putting in books journaling, but there's also planners. There's some amazing planners out there. And matter of fact, I have one right now that I use, and it's a big one, but it breaks down through days and times, and just keeping things written down, hold you accountable. But also you can see those goals when you do start feeling a little overwhelmed or you feel defeated. You can look at it, and sometimes just looking at something and putting it down in writing makes all the difference. I don't know what it is with it, really. When you write it down, it's like you're more able to hold to that goal as you transition out. And let's face it, there's so many things out there going on at one time. You have to keep track of it all, right? And sometimes the stuff in the phones just don't work real well. Armando, what else you got on that subject?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. So writing is about catharsis. It's about the psychological release. It's about exhaling all the pent up feelings, emotions, and thoughts you have inside you. Writing is 10 times more powerful than actually talking. So if you have a lot of built up frustrations, a lot of concerns, a lot of anxieties, writing those out, just like Candace said, on a bullet journal, piece of paper, or whatever, or even a formal journal, gets you ready and prepared for that interview process. One of the techniques that Candace and I advocate is called the dialogue. And the dialogue is nothing more than taking a piece of paper, putting you and the interviewer on one side, and this is what I'm going to be asked, this would be my response. So in essence, you're actually practicing actions on the objective by writing out your response. And it's kind of fun because you really don't know what the interviewer is going to be asking you. Most of the time they ask you these straight cut out questions, and sometimes you don't have answer for it. But if you wrote those out, guess what? You created a script. So now you have a script that you're going to be practicing, and your response is going to be a lot quicker, and so is your communication. So I think that right there is going to help a whole lot. And then don't be afraid to ask for help, guys. I mean, the bottom line is if your spouse, significant other, your mentor is available, do a mock interview. Okay. I mean, I'm talking full out. I'm talking a dress rehearsal. I'm talking about knocking on the door. I'm talking about the phone call. I'm talking about looking at your resume. And I'm going to be honest with you. You may write your resume, but you better have somebody else proofread that. Because when I wrote my resume and I sent it to Candace, she goes, "Oh my gosh, Armando, tell me you didn't submit this." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's perfect." She goes, "No, it's not. Stop." And I'm like, so it's little things like that, these little finite traits that you develop by writing them out. And like Candace said, I can't remember half of the things that I'm doing most of the time. But if I write this checklist, this to-do list in my journal, I have that right there. I hope that answers that question.
I think it does, and I mean, we call that rock drill, right? So yeah, you could do your rock drill and your dry fire before you try to go and do that interview. And I think that's a good point, and that ties in a lot to what the EIT team does, when we work with our warriors, is try to prepare them for that. But I mean, also use all the resources that are out there, mental strength is a big part of getting through this process, and being strong and knowing what tools to use. Like I don't journal, but I do keep a planner because, like Armando, I forget most things. Been hitting that a few times, but it's nice to have that, and I do set out a plan and how do I go to accomplish it. And I think that's part of anything, not just the military transition, but if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to figure out how to get there. So
Exactly.
I mean, so that's why I think that's really important. Well, I'd like to kind of bounce into the slides that you've provided me, just to kind of go over, building some resiliency and possibly dealing with some rejection, because that's something that might not be something you find in the military. You might not be used to having a project shut down or being told, no, you can't get this job, or you don't qualify for this. That's not something that we're used to dealing with when we come out of the military, because we're used to being hard chargers, and this is what we do. But would you mind just talking a little bit about this, and we can?
Sure. So some of the things that I came across when I was really looking into this, most of us have gone into the military, and that's really the only job we know, right? You really didn't do much of an interview, I guess, if you call the whole MEPS processing and everything, and really not to the point that you're going to be doing interviews now. And the biggest thing I think for me, and I think most people struggle, is the not taking things personally. Because whenever you go, if you're a salesman and you go door to door, knocking on the doors, asking for people to buy stuff, when they say no, that hurts. You take it personally. You don't mean to, but you just feel like a failure. I can't do this. But you have to change your mindset. It isn't about you. When you're going for job interviews, you're asking to work for a company. The company knows what they need. what direction they're going in, what skills they need. And if you're not the right fit for the specific thing that they need for their company, that has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean you're a personal failure. It's not anything personal. And so you just need to understand, just like if somebody were coming to do some work on your house, it's not that you're have personal issues with the different people applying to do the work on your house. You're just looking for a specific person to do a specific job. And so understanding that, I think, really puts you in the right mind frame and helps you. Remaining flexible, always remaining flexible, so crucial to any type of job hunting. You have to be able to adapt with whatever comes at you. And I think being in the military, we've learned a lot of those skills. And so those are things that will definitely help as you transition out. Now, a lot of our folks are dealing with a whole bunch of other issues like disabilities, sicknesses, illnesses, still trying to recover. A lot of times I like to tell folks, warriors, when I'm talking with them, you know, they feel like they have to get out of the service for a medical disability and then they must find a job. Well, I understand that, but you have to be in the right mindset, and you have to be, your body and your mind has to be whole and recovered before you can move forward into, you know, going and adding more stress to it, looking for a job. Asking feedback is always a perfect thing to do for anything, no matter what it is you're doing, especially when you're trying to apply for a job, because let's face it, we don't all know everything, right? And so you want to know, did I do good? Did I not do good? Did I talk too much? Did I ramble? Did I just not know the right answers and I need to study more? So always ask for feedback, and don't be afraid to ask the person who did the interview, hey, tell me, give me your honest feedback. Tell me what you think. They're not gonna ding you for the things that are very personal. They're gonna try to give you constructive feedback so that you can improve on the next interview if this one didn't go well. Always finding a mentor. That's always important too, because that's someone that you trust, and they can help you when you're feeling a little defeated. They can help build you up, or maybe just give you the right words to put you back in it and put you right back on the path. And maybe, you know, again, when you ask someone you trust and care about and you know has your best interest, those are the people that are going to give you the hard, honest truth. And you want to hear it from them versus someone that you don't know. So then you know that it's true and you can work on it if it's something that needs to be done. Networking is huge. I know it's a little more difficult now that we are all not doing the whole face-to-face thing, but think back to whatever job you're trying to get into. Think about everyone you've ever known in the military, friends, family, people that you're connected with, and ask them, hey, do you know of anyone who's in this line of work, or anyone who's going to school for this type of thing? And try to network and make connections that way. It will help you greatly as you go through this process. And then again, above all things, you've got to stay positive. And sometimes I know that is easier said than done, but staying positive is going to be one of the key things. Resilient people always are positive. They're sure you get knocked down, but you always get back up. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that you know what you are capable of, regardless of what anyone else says. Remember, nobody knows you like you know you. So if you know that you're the right person for this job, or you know, I may not have all the experience for this job, but I know that I'm going to be the best employee at that job, you have to sell yourself. You have to have that confidence in you and let that show. When you're positive and motivated and full of enthusiasm, sometimes that makes for more of a decision on the employer side than true skill and knowledge sometimes, depending on what that job is. So that's kind of my 2 cents for what it's worth. I'll turn it over to you, Brad.
I think this is a great list. I think there's some things on here that we make sure to cover, you know, when they're going through our programs or partner programs. Finding a mentor, we've touched on ACP and other mentorship programs that are out there. It's important to have that. And it's also someone who's outside your circle who can give you some feedback that might be what you need to hear, and really help you along your way. And the network is key. And don't forget that this is part of your network. The AFW2 family is part of your network. And one of the things that we use LinkedIn to try to help people find employment opportunities, link with employers, do research on employers, and also if you're going to school. So, there's ways to do it. Our team can help you over on the EIT side of the house, learn how to do that, to try to get more information, because the more you learn about something, the more comfortable you feel, and the more you can really attack it the way you want to and see those positive results. So networking is huge. And just knowing that there's a team here at AFW2, in particular with the wellness team that we have, who can help you if those kind of, you feel like you need that support. And so that can be a big plus in that transition, just knowing you have someone who has your back, whether that's the RCC, the non-medical care manager, the EIT program, sports program, whatever program you have, just knowing that there's somebody there to have your back. And so I really feel like you guys bring that, and I'm happy to have you guys as an asset and as a teammate. So thank you.
Awesome.
All right, next slide. Here we go. Here's some resources that you provided that we can discuss just a little bit. And if you could just go over a few of them and maybe explain how you think they could really benefit our warriors.
Okay, great. I think Candace really did a great job in summarizing a whole lot of that in there. And if you haven't been to a care event, you really need to get together with your regional care coordinator to do that, your recovery care coordinator, and do that, because the EIT events host a lot of these workshops and bring some headhunters in and do the mock interview and do a lot of that stuff that's going to prepare you for that transformation and that regeneration. There is nothing easy about what you're going through. Absolutely nothing. It's going to come with a certain amount of anxiety, a certain amount of disappointment. There's some tools out there that are going to help you prepare for this. So the first one is called the Myers-Briggs type inventory. A lot of you have probably heard about the MBTI, but there's a Myers-Briggs type inventory out there, a personality inventory for careers. Okay, this is going to tell you what career is probably best for you and what you should avoid. A lot of us walk into a lot of career fields like, I'm not comfortable with this. Well, that's your personality telling you not to go in there. Some of us are introverts, a lot of us are extroverts, okay? But sometimes, depending on the job that you're going to interview for, it's going to require you to move out of that comfort zone. Knowing this ahead of time by doing the MBTI inventory is going to prepare you for that. So you're probably asking, where do I go to get this? A lot of you have probably already taken it, but the www.trudy.com is a free website. It's going to give you just a basic 4-letter sample of what it is, but you could also pay $20, $40 to get type 2 done and the career field. Your Airmen Family Readiness Centers have the availability to do that. A lot of the people there are licensed and certified to do that. A lot of your colleges and universities also do that, especially vocational schools. They have that available too. It's a great way to dig deep into that inner resource, that inner core, and say, I didn't know that about me. Knowing that about you is going to prepare you for that big event. And you're going to have that you're going to have that confidence, that uplifting, hey, I can do this, I can nail this. Okay. Candace talked about remaining positive. Positive psychology is so important. It takes 3 positives to erase 1 negative. And that's a lot, because there's a lot of negative things going on right now. So you have to be able to find something positive and make that your mantra for the day. Kind of just make that your positive thing. Nothing's going to bother me today. I'm going to do a great job. And then just keep that. If you go to this authentic happiness site, there's all kinds of instruments in there to fill out about positive psychology. These are things that are going to help you with your transformation and your regeneration into the new you. Okay, it's going to be a challenge. Nothing's going to be easy. And I'd be lying to you if I said, oh yeah, it's a snap, it's just like that. No, it's not. Okay, journaling, as we talked a little bit about that before, doing the dialogue. The 5-minute sprint is like doing a quick warm-up exercise before you run into that race. And that race is for a job. It's going to be competitive out there, okay? But that 5-minute sprint will be able to say, I'm going to do this. I need to get this off my mind. Oh my gosh, I forgot the grocery list at home. You're going to be able to dump all that. This website right here is a super powerful one. I love this website, Create Right Now, because they have different types of prompts out there. There's different types of motivations and out there. So, just kind of like lean into a little bit of that to help you. These apps right here, they're powerful apps. One that you don't see on there is called Body Armor. Okay, this armor takes you through various depression, anxiety types of drills and things like that, and they're really powerful, and they'll help you. So it's called Life Armor. It's free. You download it. You're able to do some of these anxiety tests or exercises before the event. And there's so much resources out there. If you sign up for our website, the Wellness and Resiliency, Candace and I put so much information out there that you could just chime in and talk to us about the different things that you're going through. We're here to help you folks. I hope that helps out.
I think it does. I think just being introduced to those resources helps, because it's one of those things you don't know what you don't know. And I think that's the value added, to be able to have subject matter experts who can come in and say, hey, these are the resources that are out there to help you. Because a lot of it, when it comes down to it, you got to lean forward. You got to do the best thing for you. And having these resources is that first step, and then being able to ask for. Your phone disappears into the background.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
I see
That's
it.
what it looks
There
like.
it is.
Life Armor.
Nice.
So that's what the app actually looks like.
Thank you, Candace.
Thank you. So I mean, it's really good stuff to have. And again, I just want to share your information again with the group, and so they can all see that, and they have that if they want to contact you, and just really understand that, hey, this is a resource for our AFW2 family. And if they want to contact you, they can. They want to send an email to your org box if they have a question, or maybe they're looking to learn more about some of the things that you guys do at these events, as far as looking at all the tools that are out there to help you be resilient, because there are things out there that aren't my jam. Like I'm not musical, right? Like I kind of do journal, I guess, just listening to what you guys talked about. But there's other ways, there's other things out there, and you guys are really great on helping them find that. And I think for our transitioning warriors and their families, it's important to try to understand that you are going to be going through a difficult time. It's not going to be easy. It will feel overwhelming, but knowing that, and knowing that that's kind of what goes with it, prep yourself with the tools to prepare you for that battle, and to prepare you for that transition, to try to make it the best journey it can be. So I really appreciate having you on. I really appreciate
Be here.
the work that you guys do for our warriors, and I've
Thank
seen
you.
you guys in action with our warriors at the events, because sometimes it can be overwhelming, and when the reality sets in. So thank you for being there, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Brad.
I look forward to hopefully having you guys on again. Is there anything else you'd like to touch on just before we go? I mean, I know we talked about the closed Facebook group. They have your email now, but if there's anything else you want to put out real quick before I wrap it up.
I got
Just-
one. Yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead, Candace. Go ahead.
Wanted to say, even if it's something that maybe we haven't talked about, or hey, I heard this cool new thing, anything has anything to do with resiliency, wellness, mental health, wellness, and everything like that, just send us an email or reach out to us. If we don't know or have never heard of it, we'll research it, we'll look into it, and we'll figure it out, or we'll find out, hey, is there a resource for this, or has anyone heard of it, and get you an answer. So one way or the other, we'll get with you for sure.
And one thing about the Myers-Briggs, I want to add that I'm a licensed certified practitioner. I've been doing it for almost 15 years. So if you get your results and they're going to charge you for a consultation, just contact me. Okay. I'll be able to walk you through the dichotomous and all that other good stuff that they're going to talk to you about. I'll be able to be your coach and help you with that transformational process, because normally it's like a $200, $300 charge. So that's something that I do with you, and it'll be quick. It won't even take like 10 minutes, but I'll offer you folks that also. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Well, thanks everybody for your time. Thanks for everybody who tuned in to watch this today, or hopefully in the future we'll try to get this posted onto our webpage, on our LinkedIn page, and keep it on the AFW2 homepage as well, in case you want to pass this to somebody who might need this information. So with that, I want to say thank you to my guests. Thank you for all you do. I hope everybody has a great rest of the week and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Candace.
Bye.